Today's episode is brought to you by JerkSwag.
Ben Franklin, writer, inventor, and every stripper's favorite bill. Where's my hose at? Our dynamic trio of sports enthusiasts and longtime friends bring you the latest sports news, heated debates, and offbeat stories from the wide world of sports. Whether you're a diehard fan or just enjoy a good laugh, we've got you covered. Are your balls out?
Suck it, jabroni.
Hey, are you ready? Are you done fucking around?
Hey. Yo.
I do not have peanut butter on my list here.
Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous.
You're listening to the BallzOut Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, a la Crispy and Jonas Mount.
All right, everybody, welcome in to the BallzOut Sports Podcast. You heard the man. We got Ala to my left. For those of you who are just listening, we do appreciate you. For those of you who are watching us, you will see Ala to my left, the beautiful face of Ala. We've got Crispy joining us from Greenville, South Carolina.
All right, let me make sure I do this right. What's up, family?
Family of guys.
Well, I mean, the last time he did a shorter unit like it.
I cannot make this guy
I just don't
happy.
be knowing which way he's going. Like, what's up, friend?
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Family. Which?
You listen. How about you just tell him which way you want him to do it?
You're right. I didn't get this pre-production.
Hey now.
Here we go. I mean,
whoa.
what would this show be without one of those in the first 30 seconds? How would you like him to say the
That's better.
term
Thank you.
family?
Thank you.
I mean, I shouldn't have to get that specific with you, but I realize that you're a dirty 12-year-old.
So?
Okay, well. So how would you like him to do this so we can move on with the show?
We should have done this.
I know you
before
will,
the
but what
show
am I?
started.
Okay, here we go. All right, you know what? Maybe we'll save this for later on. All right, so welcome into the program. We do appreciate you. A couple shout-outs real quick. We want to thank the folks over at JerkSwag.com for for their contributions. Check them out, JerkSwag.com. You can check out some really cool T-shirts, hats. You know, the stuff is interesting. That's the term I always use to describe it until we get more information from the folks at JerkSwag about how we should be describing what it is they do. But check them out. It's a lot of fun. I also want to thank Bob, of course, the owner here at the Golf House, where we do our part of the recording, our 2/3 of the group. I won't say the other term that I was going to use, because if I'd done that, Ala would have gotten excited again. But Crispy, of course, joining us from Greenville, South Carolina again. So,
What's up, family?
Oh, we just reset.
Is that better?
We just reset it. That was better.
Okay, there we go. All right, so remember that one. We'll record this. Everybody knows. Now we'll know how it's supposed to sound. We've got a couple folks missing, but we got a couple folks here on the other side of the camera. We've got Coco with us, and of course, we got Christian with us as well.
We got the bottom of the barrel.
Oh,
today.
is that what we got? Okay,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You're also number one, apparently. So there's that going on right now. And Cal is not joining us this evening, and Zach is also not here.
That's because he broke his ass cheeks.
Is that what broke? Did he break his butt?
It probably was his
Really?
gluteus maximus.
His gluteus maximus?
Yeah.
His tailbone is broken, not actually officially, or is it? I don't know. Is his tailbone broken?
I don't know.
Well, he's not here.
Serious?
He strained his ass cheek.
He's
out 4 to 6
my
weeks.
goodness.
He's out 4 to 6.
Yeah.
He's on the IR.
He's on
they
the
got to
IR.
get an MRI.
Yeah.
They're waiting for testing.
Well,
They're waiting for testing.
I don't know what kind of testing they're doing, but that's cool.
Hey-o.
Hey now. So
most of the
most of the what?
good fantasy players on the IR.
Well, definitely on my team. But we'll save that for another show. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. We're aware.
Oh, brother.
I do play in a fantasy football league, and I lost to that guy in Greenville this past weekend. So my team's horrible. It's really bad. It's really bad. But
I'm pulling for you though.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for you.
I appreciate that. It's easy.
I really want you to get that last place trophy. So we can put it
Okay.
on this show.
All right. Okay. That's going to be a lot of fun if we do that.
Oh man,
We've got a ton to get to this evening. We have a whole don't start the yawning thing over there already, okay? My God, man. Are you serious right now?
That's because he ate all them damn chicken nuggets over there. I got the mambo sauce. Hey, you did the mambo sauce?
He ate the chicken nuggets and then apparently earlier today had how many?
72 pizza bagels with the fake pepperoni on them too. There was like the little square, the cube thingies.
Yeah, he went off. By the time he'd even gotten to his lunch today, he'd had eaten 29 of them or something. I mean,
He had a whole family pack.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. So, but just if you need an energy drink or something, I don't know, but just get with the program. So anyway,
He needs some.
oh,
He needs some chapstick for them lips. That's what he need.
I'm on the Pedialyte.
why are you on?
Why is he?
Why do you?
What is going on here?
Do you have diarrhea or something? Is that why you're doing Pedialyte? Is there some kind of stomach problem that you have?
Jesus.
Oh, is that what that's for? I thought it was just another version of Gatorade.
I thought it was for a hangover.
Well, yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I was told.
it's all the above. Is essentially what.
That's
it is.
what
Yeah.
I was taught.
It was in the fridge. I don't want it to go to waste. I figured I'd drink it.
It's that room that he's in. He need the Pedialyte out.
It's not.
When you
It's not.
You know,
It's
after
after
you do-
11 o'clock. It
after you
turns
do
into
some
that
stuff.
room.
Right.
and then you get. Let me go and lean over, get that.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay, I got you. He's got
I
that.
watch
Do you have some animal crackers?
See, look.
What? Oh man.
Snacks and Pedialyte.
Oh good.
He got to rehydrate.
Apparently,
It's not that kind of show. I promise. It's not. It's not.
That is definitely another show. Yeah, with Pedialyte, man, I it's always usually when I'm struggling, when I've had a stomach problem, and Pepto isn't working, and I'm getting dehydrated. I drink Pedialyte to kind of help me out.
Jesus Christ.
What?
It's because you're old.
Yeah, well, JC
Oh,
can't help you
my
right now,
gosh.
so there's no sense in calling him at the moment. Okay.
Jesus.
Jesus Cristo. So we want to appreciate all of you listening on all the platforms as well, including Apple Podcast. You can hear us on Spotify. You can hear us on Google as well. And, of course, for those of you who are more visual in nature that want to see us on YouTube, you will be able to see us as well. So there's a ton going on in the world of sports right now. Obviously, we're past what week was it this past NFL? This was week 6?
I don't even know anymore.
Week 6 just ended, right?
We're on a bye, so I don't care anymore.
This is officially week 7. I want to make sure I clarify that because Crispy kind of corrected us last week that, we're
Technically,
He shot us a week ahead of time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Technically,
We didn't get to Thursday yet.
Yeah, but technically we're already in week 7 of the NFL season.
That's right.
6 weeks have gone by so far. Some of our teams are doing better than others.
Some of us are 5-1.
Some of us are not. And we'll leave it at that.
Some of us should be 5-1, but Taylor Swift
Okay.
happened.
Here we go.
And the Patriots and the refs happened, which happened again. So
What happened was your offensive line didn't protect your quarterback.
Here we go.
That's what happened.
He's always starting.
Well, listen,
But
you
when they
start
got blown
with Taylor
out by
Swift.
when they got blown out by the Bills, nobody said nothing.
What are you talking about? We
No, his
absolutely
team. No, his team.
annihilated
No,
them.
he said.
Yeah.
Because
I lost. I got waxed.
Because our own line got hurt and no one blocked. And then, you know what? Waddle was just coming back. So we weren't ready yet. You know what? We're going to watch some tape. That's what he said. We're going to watch some tape.
And 2-0 since, baby. Let's go.
Okay. Well, a lot going
I
on.
cannot wait till Jets Dolphins week. This
Neither
is
can
gonna
I.
be great.
I am
Oof.
really looking forward to
What
that.
week
We
is
are
this?
putting some wagers.
What week is that?
This can't be soon enough. It's still a little ways out. I believe it's the last quarter of the season. We play like
Yeah, Aaron.
2 games in a 4-week stretch.
Yeah, Aaron will be back by then. So
That's great. We'll take care of
I
the
got
other
inside
ankle.
sources. Hold up. Said he's trying to come back by week 14, by the way.
Ooh, let's go. Hopefully
I'm just
that's our
telling you.
first week
I
back.
could pull it up if you want to see it.
No, don't pull anything up. We're fine.
Hey, I'll pull it out too.
Okay.
Sorry. Not on
Our
camera.
balls are already out. We don't need anything more than that. So a ton going on in the wide world of sports. No question about that. We've got a lot to get to in a short period of time. We've got baseball conversation. We've got college football conversation. We talk about what's going on so far in the NFL. The last 2 undefeated teams in the NFL have gone down. We'll dive into that a little bit as well. We'll talk Giants, Bills. And, of course, we're going to have a conversation about our top 5 wrestlers.
Oh, I thought we were
Of
talking
all
about.
time.
I thought we were talking about the undefeated teams losing.
Well, we're going to get to that. We're definitely going to get to that.
I was raising my hand to let you
I
know.
realize the Jets are partially responsible for
Not partially. They were responsible.
well, there were 2 undefeated teams, and both of them lost. It means you're partially
I
responsible.
only care about
for-
the green team.
That kicker lost that game. Jets didn't win it.
See, that's that hate.
Well, you know
That's
what?
that
You
hate.
set yourself up for this.
I'll take
type
it.
of conversation.
3-3, baby.
All right, 3-3. As is my team, 3-3. But we'll just
3 picks.
gloss right over that.
3 picks.
Right over.
I think he threw 3 picks.
3 picks, 3-3. Completely dominated that game in every way, shape, and form, including turning the ball over 3 times, which ultimately led to their demise. Thank you very much. The Falcons lose to the Commanders.
Sorry.
They are now 3-3.
Or the Commandos.
So let's talk a few things really quickly before we get into some of our main storylines. The first thing I have on here that I wanted to get to, I've been wanting to talk about this for some time. This particular individual I have had the utmost respect for as a player. The utmost respect for Steve Smith as a player. The guy was a stud. He was arguably one of the strongest players in the NFL. Okay, I mean, if you look at just his size, because I mean, what Steve Smith? He's like 5'7", 5'8" on a good day.
5'2.5".
No, he got to be taller than that. I'm 5'7".
I don't think that he's much taller than you are.
He's 4'9".
Oh, Steve Smith or Crispy?
Crispy.
Okay, which that means
How tall?
you're 4'9" apparently.
Oh my gosh.
About the same height as Tyreek Hill.
That's Tyreek. Yeah, but Tyreek be fast.
Be fast.
He's real fast. He
All
makes
right,
fast people look not fast.
Steve Smith's 5'9".
Okay.
You better give him that.
Hey,
2.
Lion. That's that NBA height when they put the sneakers on.
That
and
was
they give
5'9"
him-
with cleats on.
Yeah.
I said 5'7", 5'8". I wasn't that far off. He's not a very tall guy.
5'5" with brown
Man,
eyes.
I thought he was at least 5'10". Man.
So Steve Smith, unbelievable player, played the majority of his career with the Carolina Panthers, spent a little bit of time towards the end of his career with the Baltimore Ravens, still played extremely well then. In fact, one of his great highlights was actually with the Baltimore Ravens. But Steve Smith always played angry all the time, and I appreciated that about him. When he was playing with the Carolina Panthers, I had to deal with that dude twice a year, being a Falcons fan, and he owned us every single time, just about every single time. I mean, and he owned the majority of the league as a wide receiver. I mean, he was one of the better wide receivers in the league when he was in his prime. So Steve Smith played angry, and I appreciated it, right? I mean, you couldn't take that guy down. One person wasn't tackling Steve Smith the majority of the time, and 3 or 4 guys had a difficult time bringing him down. The playing angry part, cool. The continuing to be angry as a commentator, as a sideline reporter, as the guy on the other side of the camera now with a suit on is bothering me. Okay, it's bothering me a little bit, and here's why. Steve Smith, and I made this note myself. Steve Smith continues to be a menace, right? In my opinion, I believe he is taking things too far. I will branch out to the both of you. I'd like to get your perspective on this as well. But one of the things that I think about sometimes is and I think we're seeing more of this from former players who become commentators, sideline reporters, color commentators, etc., talk show hosts. It feels like there is a sort of a breaking of the code, right? And Steve Smith's most recent antics on the sidelines during the Denver Broncos game where he went in on Jerry Jeudy is something that I take exception to, because Steve Smith made a comment about Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver, of course, for the Denver Broncos. Steve Smith is on the sidelines. He's having a conversation with somebody else there. I forget the other guy's name who he was with. And apparently when Jeudy came onto the field, and this is what Steve Smith is telling us, he approached Jerry Jeudy with an intent to apologize for what he said. Now, obviously, we only know that's Steve Smith's side of the story. And Steve Smith decided to tell us that he was trying to apologize after Jerry Jeudy apparently told him he didn't want anything to do with him. Now, he said some other things that weren't very, very nice.
I heard the N-word a couple times.
Apparently that was there. They used the term ninja to describe it.
Yeah.
But apparently Jeudy said, "Oh, listen, I'm not messing with you," whatever. And then Steve Smith went in on him. Now, before I go any further, Crispy, I know you probably want to chime in here on this situation. So give me your take on this before I take this any further. Because I'm gonna go to you, and then I'm gonna go to Ala, and I'm interested to hear your perspective.
Yeah. So I have the clip. Or can we play the clip? Do we want to hear the clip?
Yeah, I got no problem playing the clip.
All right. Well, I was trying to connect with our producers, and I'm not sure. So
I told you we got the bottom of the barrel over here today. Y'all didn't listen to me.
Rude.
I just don't know if it's going to come through accordingly. So, but here's my question I have for you, Nasty. Is you saying he's breaking the code of conduct? When you're saying that, what are you meaning by that?
Well, I'm just talking about breaking. I'm not code of conduct, so to speak. It just feels like he's breaking code, right? So there's this. He's a former player. Obviously, he's talking about another wide receiver. It just feels different to me. I know that he's no longer in the locker room per se, but he's also not that far removed from having been a player. He understands, right? So it feels like I want to let the world know about my personal conversations with specific individuals, and because it feels an awful lot like, and I don't know any other term to use, but clickbait. It's like this idea that I'm going to say this stuff because I'm just trying to bring attention to myself. And there's something about it that just doesn't feel right. And it's this idea that Steve Smith is always on TV all the time. And this isn't the first time he's done this, right? The Jerry Jeudy thing is the most recent one, but he does this whole, just throwing people under the bus at nauseum, like lately, right? If somebody isn't playing well, it's just like, you're garbage. And other people are doing this now too, right? I mean,
Okay.
What's his name? Richard Sherman is doing it. Other guys where they just are literally just going in on guys.
These are the trash talkers, though.
Yeah, I realize
you don't see Whitworth or who else out there? Gerald McCoy,
right?
Or Michael Robinson at the time. I love Michael Robinson.
Yeah,
Bring Michael Robinson back, NFL Network.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him. Yeah. Yep.
You don't see them talking about Kurt Warner doesn't bash quarterbacks. It's just, it depends.
Yeah, I mean, and if there's a way to bash somebody, they do it. They have a more subtle way of doing it. It's talking specifics. It's not just going in on a guy for the sake of going in on a guy. And Steve Smith's description on the sidelines at the Broncos game, where he was like, "Well, I intended to go up to him and apologize, but he told me he didn't want to, he didn't want anything to do with me. So I'm just going to let you know I think he's trash, and some of the comments that he was making about Jerry Jeudy, he said he recently called Jerry Jeudy a jag, or just another guy, an acronym for just another guy.
That's true.
On air for NFL Network's Thursday Night Football pregame show ahead of Jeudy and the Broncos playing Kansas City, Smith attempted to apologize, apparently. However, Jeudy wasn't having it. Smith got fired up again and dropped another apology that wasn't really one, saying, "I'm sorry I said you were a jag, just a guy who is an average wide receiver. The Broncos used a first-round pick on that. Isn't doing anything. I hope today you actually show up in a way that you haven't shown up in the last couple of years since they drafted you." And then it was the whole, and then he's like, "Okay, then now I'm out of here." And he dropped his mic and attempted to take his microphone off his suit and I'm leaving now. It's like, I want to make a statement. I want people to know I'm,
that's always
it
been
is.
him, though.
It's Steve
That's
Smith.
him.
That's what he does.
That's him.
Right?
That's how he was
this
as a
is what
player.
we wanted to see on the sidelines.
It's true.
And I think that's what we're going to get when we have these professional guys come in, especially those wide receivers. They're divas, right?
Yep.
I just pulled up Jerry Jeudy's numbers for the year.
Pedestrian.
And
sure.
And coincidentally enough, guess whose team they're on?
What do you mean?
Fantasy team. I just realized that.
You got Jerry Jeudy?
He's on the bench.
You got Jerry Jeudy?
Hey, listen,
That's bad.
I have tried
that was not planned.
I have tried repeatedly to put this guy on the team, thinking that this will finally be the moment, especially now that this year I was looking at it, I was like, Sean Payton,
He's
Russell
gonna be
Wilson.
the number one. There's nobody else there.
I mean, he's got the skill set. I mean, the guy came out of college.
Yeah.
He's had, early on in his career, he had a couple of good seasons early on as a rookie specifically. And, but he is on the bench. So there's that. Just so you know,
Yeah.
I'm not buying into him yet.
because he's a jag. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let
Just
him
an
be a
average guy. And so when he's talking about it, he said that he was going to go chat up with them, apologize for the comments that he made. And then Jerry Jeudy responds the way that he did. And then so Steve Smith's like, "All right, young buck, you want to talk trash to the old bear? Here it is." And I thought it was fair. I mean, he has not been that great of a football player. He hasn't lived up to where he was drafted. I hope that they don't try to extend or pay him. And I do think that they will end up trading him, like Steve Smith said, So I'm not a huge fan of him, but and I guess we'll see.
He's on the block right now too because of that. Well, not even because of the comments before that. I seen rumors to the Eagles who just
signed Julio Jones,
old ass Julio Jones.
Yep.
I saw like the Chargers possibly out there because of the Mike Williams injury. I mean, they better do something because
here's the thing: he doesn't even have great film for us to even look at to say, hey, this guy's worth putting on our team. I mean, still on a rookie contract, understandable. So you're not going to have to pay a whole lot for him. I just hope that Denver's not going to be asking for an arm and a leg for him.
How ironic is it if he gets? I saw another rumor him going to Carolina. So and Steve Smith having beef. He goes to Carolina where Steve Smith is like the guy at wide receiver, right? He's number one out there in Carolina country. So it's like, but I mean, Jerry Jeudy sucks.
Steve Smith will roll up into Carolina one drive and be like, yo, y'all ain't doing that.
I get everything that you're saying, and I'm not the point of this conversation, and I understand everybody's perspective on this. The point isn't so much about whether Jerry Jeudy is or is not a good player. I mean, at this point right now, statistically speaking, we know that he's not the guy that I think a lot of people thought he would be, right? We get that. The point for me is, and if you look at the way that whole situation went down. So, look, I'm not trying to play, no fun league when people used to joke years ago about what the NFL stands for. But here's I'm all about celebrations on the field. In fact, when the NFL, I'll say this briefly, when the NFL said you can't celebrate as a team, but you can celebrate individually, I thought that was one of the stupidest rules I'd ever heard of because it is a team sport. So if you're celebrating, you really want it to be as a team and not as an individual. I
don't want to see teams run into the end zone every single time they get an interception, though. That's annoying. Stop it.
Right. Please. But remember when the Rams did it? And I don't want to get off topic here, but remember when the Rams used to do it back in the day when they had the greatest show on turf, and they would do
because they were the greatest show on
turf.
Right,
but they would do those celebrations as a team. That's when the NFL made the switch, and I thought that was a huge mistake. But here's my thing: I'm all for celebrations. I'm all for having fun. I'm all for all of that. Again, Steve Smith is not playing anymore, right? So my point is, if you think about how this whole interaction went down, it was from what Steve Smith is telling us, okay, that he was going to go. Because we didn't know he was planning on apologizing before he told us that was the plan after Jerry Jeudy told him he didn't want to have anything to do with him. So Steve Smith says, well, I was going to go apologize to him, and then he said he didn't want to have anything to do with me because of my comments. At that point, what Steve Smith could have done is just said, you know what? I said some things I shouldn't have said. I was trying to apologize. He doesn't want to have anything to do with me right now. Respect. He's not happy about my comments. He's getting prepared. He's hyped right now for the game anyway. Is that really the time where Steve Smith needs to approach the guy when he's coming onto the field to talk about an apology for a comment he made on a podcast? I don't think that's the time or place for it anyway. So at that point, Steve Smith...
We want our people to keep it real, right?
This is
keep it real.
What I'm talking about is that Steve Smith could have simply just said, you know what? I went to apologize. He doesn't want to have anything to do with me right now. Maybe I can have a conversation with him later on. We can sort this thing out. But instead decided to bring the onus, the attention on himself, once again, in front of the camera and be like, you know what? Now I think he is this guy. Now, which means that the initial apology that he claimed he was going to make wasn't real to begin with. Because you don't go back in on the guy when he's pissed at you for saying something that you shouldn't have said to begin with.
You always double back. Go back again. If I go apologize
I don't know.
and you be an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole. Back to you being an asshole. We going to asshole together.
Yeah. I look at it like this. I mean, if he was going to go apologize and Jeudy approached him the way that they say that he did,
I'm going to have that same spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty strong. And in just being, I know they're both wide receivers, but they're both divas having conversation with each other, butting heads and going at it. I mean, just in the manhood, or you questioned it or you challenged it or whatever. He's an alpha male. He's going to respond that way.
That's fair.
And he has that platform to express his opinion about it.
That's fair, but did he have to? That's my point. Because he didn't have to share that story but he didn't have to share that story with anybody. He could have kept it private, and he could have just simply been attempting to have a conversation with Jerry Jeudy without publicly telling everybody that that's what he was planning on doing.
Well, this goes to how the TV networks want the drama. They want the Taylor Swifts and they want the drama, right? This was happening off camera. They hadn't even started the full interview yet. And so now they're like, oh, we got some spice here. And now they put Steve Smith, who's all fired up, on live TV. How's he going to react?
He probably was looking up too.
It's a
Could have
possibility.
been. I love it. I love it. I'm all for it. Let's go.
You're all for that, but you mentioned Taylor Swift, but you're not for that. So it's that. We mentioned
spice.
Well, we mentioned this. You put both of them in the same sentence.
So now we're taking a music entertainer, putting them in TV.
I like this.
That is my football player. That is a person with passion about the sport, about the grind, about the blood, sweat, and tears.
Sure.
Two different. They're two differents.
They may be two differents, but you mentioned both of them in the same sentence. You mentioned that's what TV. But I'm just saying that's what TV. That's what you're saying. TV wants. They want that spice. They want that.
Yeah.
They want that drama. So one, but the question becomes, why is one any better than the other? Right. So it's like, do you want your cake and eat it too? Look, at the end of the day, I don't know that need for, that Steve Smith has to because it feels like he's just trying to bring attention to himself more than anything else. I don't know that it's great commentary.
I need some popcorn.
But this is what
I like the way y'all going back and forth.
This is not uncommon. But the thing is that this is like,
let's sprinkle in the sauce that he's a Carolina Panther fan and you're a Falcon. You've never liked him.
No. Don't go there. What have I always?
Who's the team? Well,
what have I always said? What have I always said about Steve Smith? Despite the fact that he owned us, I've always said that he was. I have had the utmost respect for Steve Smith. The guy came out of nowhere. Nobody gave him a. The guy came out of nowhere. Nobody gave him a chance in hell, and he came into the league and proved to everybody that his size and everything else did not matter. Okay, I've got the utmost respect for Steve Smith. So it has nothing to do with the fact that he's a Carolina Panther. I just don't think that this moment right here is I just didn't think this was a necessity. I just think that he's going in on guys all the time. I don't think it's a necessity.
Oh man,
what's so funny?
You too. I like that.
Hey man, just let it go.
It's not me for a change.
Just let it go, man. Just let it happen.
Round one, fight.
Fight. Oh, damn. Okay, so as we're speaking, I don't want to get too much off topic right now, but the Phillies are just...
Another one goes out the park.
They're up 6-0 on the Diamondbacks right now in game 2 of the NL.
Hey, we don't even need to talk baseball tonight. Go ahead and
Braves
crown them.
too.
They are who we thought they were.
If you crown them,
okay. Okay, I like that. Crown them now, okay.
I mean...
Beat the hell out the Braves.
They did. They absolutely did.
Hey, I'm not even a Braves fan no more.
Hey,
I'm not even a Braves fan no more.
Oh,
I done burned all my damn hats.
I like it.
Here we go.
Burn it down.
You finally going to go down south now?
No.
Oh, whoa.
No.
All of his other teams are in the state of Florida. I've always told him, I said, maybe you just need to be a Marlins.
I thought you meant the other south.
I came close years ago. Woo.
I know.
Man.
I know.
It's tough. I know how you feel being a Jets fan. I'm a Braves
Lord.
fan.
Listen,
here
you go. Right back to me.
It's tough.
You know what? I like your haircut.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm just getting
he ain't got no hat on today.
No, me. All right?
Yep.
Point to the camera.
It does look good. It looks good.
There you go.
You know this looks good.
Hey, check the BallzOut Instagram page, BallzOutsports, guys. Somebody put a nice clip up about this guy.
It did.
Breaking the 17th wall, talking to you guys. Each one of you guys over there. All right, you guys
Did you like film getting your hair cut? Did you do like a little?
No, I didn't. That is the plan though.
Please,
that is the plan going
don't
forward.
do that.
We're doing it.
No. Shameless plug, huh?
Hey, you know what? If Steve Smith can do it, so can I. All right, so
spicy.
Yeah, spicy. All right, so moving on. Just a couple of quick funny things that happened over the weekend. I know I put this in here, and this was my idea, and it's not something that we have to stay on topic for very long, but I don't know why. But you know how just certain things just kind of just get you going, right? Like you watch something, and maybe nobody else thinks it's funny, but you just watch something, and you watch it on repeat over and over again. That's Stephon Diggs' false start. I don't know why, man. It just makes me laugh every single time I watch it. It is absolutely... Did you guys see that? You see that?
I'm watching it right now.
You see, it's like he starts running and he just keeps on running.
He was like, I already did it. I might as well keep going.
He runs like 20 yards before he stops. Yeah, it's. I was like, okay,
that's what a false start should be.
Yeah,
not like a couple. Well, first of all, these tackles are getting out of line. Like they could be a false start every play. for these tackles nowadays.
The way they just
them tackles are for sure getting
they're
jump
gone
starts.
before the ball even move. Let me get me out of there on that one.
Now it is real. I actually was watching my team play, and one of the guys who's really, really good at it is Jake Matthews.
Yes,
he jumps before the ball goes. But the interesting part about it is when he starts moving right before the ball gets snapped. Those aren't the ones they're catching as quick. They're catching when the guy just has that little bit of a quick twitch.
Not the Lane Johnson or what's the Chiefs kid? He got like 700 of false starts.
He does.
He's bad.
But Stephon Diggs, when he did this false start, all I could think of was Forrest Gump. I was like, he's just gonna run straight to the locker room.
He just kept going.
Keep on going, man.
He's
100% all the time.
He didn't even have his mouthpiece in when he was false start.
He's 100% all the time. False start. Let's go.
I'm watching it again. He took out of frame. He's gone.
He took the top off on Dolphins, by the way. I saw that. I watched that game.
That's true. He scored 3 touchdowns on us.
He didn't score 3 touchdowns on the Jets, though. I just wanted to let you know that.
That's right.
I'll let you guys know that.
I really can't wait for this Jets-Dolphins game.
You can't wait. Aaron's coming back.
Can't wait.
Come on back, Aaron.
Give me some Bart Scott. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Can't stop a nosebleed.
I am. You know what? We should actually just get together for this first game. Yeah, I think that might need to be a thing.
You know what? I don't watch football, guys.
Okay.
Unless it's the Jets winning. If they lose, not in a good mood.
Are you going to claim that you weren't there if they lose?
I was watching it in the bed, right? Because it was getting towards the end of the game. I'm watching it, and it's the last drive, and my leg is going like this. My wife's like,
you're twitching?
She's like, are you okay?
Hey.
I'm like, no, it's the last drive.
Zach Williams
picked
has
off.
been
Almost picked off.
bro.
Hey, we won. We won. Cool. And my leg just stopped shaking. Yeah.
Zach Williams had those last 2 series was pretty nice for Williams.
Yep.
I'll take it.
And it is. You realize what just happened, right?
He's doing better.
Who's Zach Williams?
He's doing better.
No, but it's
fine.
It's just Zach Williams.
I will keep calling Zach Williams. I'm gonna tweet you
and
let you know.
The one piece I really love about the Jets, because I don't hate all of the Jets.
He does.
I have Breece Hall and Garrett Williams on my team as well. So I have them both on my team. So I don't completely hate. No, I can't disrespect Garrett like that. I love him. He's great.
Put some respect on his name.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. I'm sorry, Garrett Wilson.
Thank you.
You did have Breece Hall. Not that this is all I'm doing. All I'm doing.
Bring it up.
I am. I'm going to. All I'm doing at this point is just letting everybody know how bad
I was trying to throw you a bone, bro. I was trying to make it close.
I know, but he had Breece Hall on the bench and still beat me.
Damn.
Yeah, he did.
I put James Cook in. I thought Cook was going to have a better showing against the Giants.
Here's the crazy part about fantasy football, and I'm going to keep this brief because I know
I'm about to take a nap. You got me falling asleep.
But here's the thing: is that before the game started, Crispy was favored to win. We got about halfway through the first games, and then I was projected to win by like 15, and then it got close, and then ultimately I ended up losing, but I don't even know what the total was. But it's so topsy turvy when it comes to
you put Jerry Jeudy in the game.
No, I did not.
No.
That's next week.
You know what? Maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know. But the crazy thing is I only scored like 120 points. Maybe is that what I ended up with? I don't even know. I didn't.
Do you want me to tell you or?
Yeah, just tell me.
111.
111. The week before, I scored 196.
Yeah, I was worried I was going to get that team.
Yeah, I was.
That's what I was hoping was not going to happen, and it didn't. Jamar Chase is what saved me, but hurt you.
Yeah, for sure. Allah's pretending to be asleep over here.
Oh, it is quiet.
The funny thing, yeah, no doubt about that.
7-Eleven, I'm always open, guys.
The funny thing about this is we're actually going to be doing a list today of the top 5 wrestlers of all time. And when we talk fantasy football, though, you go to sleep. But when we're talking about wrestling, you need everybody to be
awake.
I put
a D-Generation
you
X
need to be
shirt
everybody
today.
You need everybody to be on point when we're talking about wrestlers, right?
It says suck it.
Is that what you want?
2 words for you. Is
that what you need?
Suck it.
Is that what you want?
No.
I cannot wait till you guys hear my top 5.
I'm going to sleep when his list come out.
I can't wait I can't wait for you to hear his top 5.
I'm throwing the headphones across the room because he's gonna IWC. Him right there. They're coming for him.
This guy right here. That guy right there in the middle.
Yep. I already sent you. I already sent a retweet retweet, retwitter, re-X, Rex,
There it
whatever
is.
it's called. What is it? I
don't know, man. I'm still calling
that
it Twitter.
app is ugly. I hate that X.
I can't deal with it.
It's
I like
bad.
Twitter. I like Twitter. It's easier. Just rolls on.
Twitter.com.
The BallzOutsports IG page did repost a nice little young lady from WWE though. She's
True.
Latina.
Do they really wrestle, or are they just like
She was a former
managers
MMA guy,
or
female.
ring?
Yeah, she was.
She used to twerk after her matches.
Yes, she did.
And she twerks in the ring too.
I'm sure she does.
And she hits her backside on some people's faces.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
I'm sure you do.
What is the rating
here.
on these shows?
Rating for me.
No, like is it like
No, it's for me.
13 or is it like does it have a rating on it? Serious question, sorry. Didn't mean to be serious here.
Rated.
Like is it rated like you have to be 17 or older to watch it kind of thing? Does it give any of that before the show starts?
It used to.
Did it really?
When they used to DX used to have the chicks flashing everybody. Yeah. The Attitude Era. I think now it's like PG now, but because they gotta market to the kids.
Yeah.
But you did tell me that the ratings are really good right now for wrestling.
It's really good. It's in a boom.
Yeah.
Like I just want you to know, Ala, I really did do some homework for this. So I just hope you know that. I have like 2 or 3 big time wrestling fans that I consulted in, and I watched film. I did. I promise I did.
He's lying.
I did.
No, I know him well enough to know he definitely did his homework.
Okay.
I promise you, I did this. I have Peacock, and what do you get with Peacock? All the WrestleMania.
That is absolutely true.
Okay.
All the WrestleMania.
I tried to put it up there, and you told me no.
Yeah, because if it was on up there while we're trying to do the show,
I'll be just like this.
Yes, I would get nothing out of you.
Hey, let's do that. Let's just sidetrack him, and then we'll talk about fantasy and golf.
Yeah, we can.
Y'all can do that, and hockey.
Yeah, hockey.
Hey, I'm watching hockey right now. I think we lost. I got to check the score.
Playing Buffalo tonight. Yes.
Did we lose?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It was on, and then it was gone.
On, then it was gone.
On and gone. That's how I like them.
I want to turn this to. Oh damn! Phillies are up 8-0. Good night, dude. This is just going from bad to worse. I want to turn to Ala on this one here really quickly because the aforementioned Garrett Wilson, little bit of a little fun tweet, so to speak, after the win over the Eagles.
I don't know what he tweeted.
Don't talk crazy on that field.
Well, that's a fact.
We taking names.
We be taking them.
He's getting them receipts.
And the coach said, "You ain't got no haters. You
that
ain't
one's
popping."
for Aaron.
If he said what?
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Oh, Salah said that?
He said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like him.
I do too. I'm a fan.
He got a clean ball head.
Yeah,
by
he
the way.
does. That thing is
He
shiny.
look like Mr. Clean.
He got what? He got as many kids as Cromartie? He got like 7 kids.
Yeah,
8
about
kids.
16 of them.
He's got a lot of kids.
That's why he runs the stadium before the games. He got to get that energy out. Having all them damn kids when he go home.
Yeah, you know what's funny about this though is it's not funny, but I didn't realize this until you and I had talked after this game was over. So Al and I were speaking after the game was over. I did not realize that you had never beaten the Eagles.
He's lying, guys. We don't talk at all.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm trying to break the fifth wall too, like you. Hey, I got to go get a haircut.
I don't understand how that had anything to do with that.
I love the voiceovers. That maybe switch it up a little bit between him and I because it sounds like the same person. Give me a little bit more of a southern twang, maybe.
Twang, maybe.
There you go.
That sounds better. All right, I got you.
Okay,
got to put that in there.
So we were actually communicating back and forth with one another, despite what he might tell you about this. I did not realize that the Jets had never beaten the Eagles.
And I think that's
a wild stat.
That's what Garrett Wilson was talking about, and a couple more players. And then Salah in the press conference after he ended it, he walks off camera, and then you'll hear him say, "Ain't 0-12 no more."
That was a wild stat.
But that's because they really thought they were gonna. Well, I mean, we did predict them to win, right?
Yeah.
Anything could happen because it was only week 6.
Right. Only week 6. Right?
It was only week 6. It's not anymore.
It's officially week 7.
Yeah. It was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I watched quite a bit of that. I have a question though about the Eagles.
They suck.
Here's my thing. Remember going into
said it.
Well, every single week that they've played, the games have been closer than they should have been. They're playing lesser competition by other people's standards, or as far as like what the numbers were and how they were favored before the game, how Vegas had them favored, or whatever the case may be. Is there a possibility? And I'll start with you, Crispy. I'd like to get your response on this as well. That this might actually have been a good thing for the Eagles. And I know that's like such a just one of those really weird questions that people have a tendency to ask at this point in the season when a preseason favored team. Because for all intents and purposes, the Eagles having been in the Super Bowl last year, despite some of the losses that they've had to the roster, specifically on defense. They were still a team that I think most people thought were going to be, a top 3 team in the NFC, right? I think that would be a fair assessment. But the Eagles have been struggling. They haven't found themselves offensively. The defense hasn't been as good as it was last year. Is this a good time? Like, is this one of those wake-up calls for them at this point to go, okay, fellas, now we've been sort of mediocre here and we've gotten through some of these games, but this was a wake-up call for us. If there was a good loss, is this that time for the Eagles?
Take it early, right? Yeah. Because it was only week 6.
Yep.
So you get your loss out early. You don't have to have a shout out to the Dolphins. What was the 72, 73 Dolphins for still staying undefeated, right? They were popping the champagne already.
Every time.
Everybody lost, so now they happy.
Yep.
But
that's right.
You get the win. You get your loss out early, right?
Some of us drink Pedialyte.
Oh, Jesus.
In celebration.
I can't imagine popping Pedialyte. That's popping.
It actually tastes really good. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I guess you take the loss early, but I guess it's who you lose to early too. They lost to a team with a struggling quarterback, right? Without their top 2 corners, well, top 3 corners actually. And
did Sauce not play?
Sauce did not play. Apparently, he had a concussion randomly that popped up on Thursday. They said at practice, they said he felt a little woozy, so they sent him home. And he said he was still feeling nauseated. And they said, "Oh, you may have a concussion." But he didn't have any symptoms initially early, so they chose to not play him on, I think, Friday or something like that. Wow. And then of course DJ.
Do y'all really have a bye this week?
We do have a bye.
Okay, that's a good week then to have that then.
Yep, a little early, but we'll take it right now.
Yeah.
So I guess you get the loss out early.
Yeah,
but Jalen Hurts is not playing like he was last year.
No, he's definitely not. Crispy, what are your thoughts on the Eagles and this loss at this point in the season?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me because I'm a little partial to Philly. Of course, you guys know my feelings towards the Jets, right? I really don't want to give Jets too much credit. So, but here's some things that I was thinking about, though, right? Philly comes into the season. I wish we had Zach to verify this number, but I think Philly has the hardest schedule in football.
No. They had the weakest first 6-week schedule. If you Google it and do your little Google searches.
Well, is that based on what's already happened or
off
what
the strength of schedule? No, from
the season.
Beginning of the season, it was strength of schedule. They were 1. Dolphins were 2.
No,
for toughest, hardest schedule in football.
We had one of the hardest schedules. We got a cakewalk coming up soon.
Yeah. Well, I'll send like we do out throughout the week. I'll send you a cakewalk.
I mean, that's been a cakewalk. I've been told you Desmond Riddler is not good.
Okay, all right.
We put money on that game too if you want to.
Yeah, we can. We absolutely can. All right.
Are y'all playing?
Got a little fancy haircut on it.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool.
All right.
Yes. Loser
will get these things all done up for me. Oh no, wait.
No. Loser gets a haircut from me.
You know what? Next topic.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Next topic.
Hey, so Philly, toughest schedule in football. Expectations from last year. I think the litmus test for them could very well be this Sunday night at 8:20 in Philly when the 5-1 Dolphins come into town. So let's see if it was a fluke that the Jets won or if Philly's actually a bad team.
Well, let me go ahead.
It's got to be a fluke if we win.
It's not because it was you. It's just is that the case?
Was it a fluke when we beat Buffalo to open the season? It wasn't a fluke then, though, right?
No.
Without
it
Aaron
was
after
a
4
fluke
plays?
accident that happened to your quarterback.
No,
That's
hey,
a fluke accident.
who's also throwing the ball, by the way, walking without crutches.
Yes, that is very impressive.
Who is he real?
Listen,
Is he a robot?
Relax.
Hey.
Relax.
When I saw him walking in the locker room and he had that white T-shirt on, hey, he's kind of cut up. I didn't think Rodgers was like a gym guy. I mean, he's cut. If
he comes back before this season before the regular season is even over, I'm gonna be like, you got
my words. Week 14 versus the Texans, he will be back.
All right, I'm putting this out there. If Aaron Rodgers comes back week 14, I'm buying an Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey and I'll wear it on this show.
You should get the black one.
I'll do it.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Black.
I want to see that
Rodgers jersey.
Matter of fact,
on this show.
You ain't even got to buy one. I'll give you one. I got 2 of them.
No, I need it to fit. On this show.
Oh, it's calling me big. Whoa.
No,
body shaming.
we're not the same size.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
Because I'm 6'3".
I mean, if he puts that thing
I'm
on,
5'7".
I mean, it's like
actually maybe that makes it fun. Maybe that'll make it more fun. Maybe I do wear the long skirt dress thing on the show.
He gonna look like a 2003 rapper.
Yeah.
With the big old white teal.
Hey, and I'm gonna get that real big hat. You know, the one that's like 5 sizes too big.
Oh, the one like Gilly put on that we reposted on the BallzOut page. Big ass hat. We lose to the bum ass Jets.
One of those little cartoon characters where their heads are really huge and they got the really tiny body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uniform.
Well,
week 14.
All right.
I got it written down right here. It's in my notes.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to say about the Eagles here.
But Philly has not impressed me at all. Not really impressed me. They got the tush push. That's the.
I hate that damn play.
Phenomenal.
Catching up.
And I don't know. I'm not overwhelmed with them.
I don't know that I'm necessarily that overwhelmed with them either right now, but I don't know that this is again, I think if there's a time that this is the time to do it, right? This is the time to lose. I think that this is going to be, this should be a wake-up call for this team, okay? The problem is that they just signed Julio Jones, which makes them look desperate, right? That's a little caveat that I'll throw out there really quickly. However, I think that if this is not a wake-up call for this team, then they are going to have a really tough time down the stretch. If the coaching is there, if this team intends to bounce back, I mean, you said it, Ala. This team went up against a Jets team that they should have beaten. That the Jets defense was, or they were favored to win.
That's better.
The Jets had a ton of guys not playing.
We had practice squad players playing on at corner,
and so there was from the Eagles' perspective, that was a terrible loss. And
Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks.
They've got to pick it back up again. I am absolutely flabbergasted by what this team looks like on offense. I mean, take the defense out of the equation altogether, right? I mean, if we're just talking about one side of the football, the Eagles offensively are not even close to the team that they were last year. Jalen Hurts looks like a completely different quarterback, a guy that is confused by the whole process.
Maybe he got away with some stuff early last year. We've seen this with a lot of those running quarterbacks. We always somehow bring Cap up into the equation, right? Cap.
I got a cap on.
All of the running quarterbacks, and Vic had that problem. Once they have one good year, right, the really good year, somehow, some way, go deep in the playoffs to the Super Bowl. After that, once these NFL coaches get that offseason of prep and everything on them, all of a sudden they come back and they look pedestrian afterwards. It happens to them all the running quarterbacks.
This guy's not a running quarterback, but Joe Burrow has been trash as well.
Hey, but he's picking it up now.
He is picking it up. Last couple of weeks,
they always start 0-3.
Yeah,
and then they come in.
It seems like what they do.
And Jamar Chase is 7-11, guys. He's always open.
He is.
Hey, who's the running back that was with Philly last year that's in Carolina now?
Miles Sanders.
You think that's a difference?
That is.
DeAndre Swift comes in. It was with the Lions.
He had a big fumble too.
Yeah, but he's been lights out.
He has, but that fumble kind of was a little costly. We went down the field and scored on that.
Yep.
Zach Williams didn't turn the ball over.
Again, that's what we said he needed to do, right? Yep. He didn't have to go out and throw for 303 touchdowns. He just didn't have to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Let the rest of the team do their work, especially
and the Eagles
defense.
Still ain't even played the Cowboys yet.
I know. I'm looking for. I'm really. Philly is going to be a team that I'm going to have my eye on all season. Mainly because I picked them to win the Super Bowl this year.
I don't know why.
Not to. Hey, look, it's only week 6.
It was only week 6.
It's
week 7.
It's officially week 7. We've only played 6 weeks of football.
Bingo, that's good. I like that one.
I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, don't fight anymore.
No,
I don't want to have to round 2. Fight.
So let's dive into a little bit of baseball here. What?
I just like to talk about baseball now.
Why?
Because the Braves ain't shit. What happened?
Right.
What happened?
I don't.
How many games did Acuna hit in? Is it Acuna Matata? How many games
did he hit in? Put some respect on his name.
I'm sorry. He had a very good year.
He did have a
very. He should still be
70 and 40,
though.
right?
He's still going to be MVP.
40-70?
Yeah, 40.
How many?
41.
How many wins
What?
did you guys have this year?
104.
Oh, 104.
I think so.
How many games you won in the postseason?
1.
Oh, yeah.
But now the Braves aren't the only team who struggled, because this is the point of this conversation that we wanted to get to.
That is true.
Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I was extremely disappointed. Okay, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you. I mean, the way the Braves performed in that series was abysmal, but it was mainly pitching. The starting pitching is terrible. They didn't have Morton pitching. They didn't have Wright pitching. They had Fried pitching with a blister on his pitching hand. I mean, which, on the surface, if you don't know anything about baseball, you'd be like, well, he just had a blister. Why is that a big deal? No. You're a pitcher. It's a huge deal.
Grip the ball.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
You ever had a blister on your heel and you're walking in tennis shoes? Doesn't feel good.
Ooh, in the back right there.
Right. Yeah. And that's what it feels like for a pitcher throwing 100 miles an hour when he's got a blister on his finger.
I know.
Like, that's just absurd.
I will give you that.
But
what happened to that offense?
Just disappeared.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same thing that happened to them last year. The exact same thing. They only won 1 game against the Phillies last year. They got bounced. The starting pitching wasn't very good last year, and the offense just simply disappeared. Now,
attaboy, Harper.
Now, what I will say is that the top 5 teams with Major League Baseball's best records in the regular season
happens every year.
Went a combined 1-12.
It happens every year, though.
1-12.
Happens every year.
The Braves were the only one of those 5 teams to actually win a game in the postseason. They went.
Yes. So you got that only win.
The Orioles.
We got it. Let's go.
The Dodgers, the Rays, and the Brewers. None of them won a game. And
I
all
agree.
of those were very good teams during the regular season. And so the question becomes,
the format has to change.
Is it the format?
Yes, I tried to tell you that.
It's the most random format in all of playoff sports, right? In any other playoff format, it is the most random format that exists. Now, one of the things that people have commented on when it comes to the postseason in baseball is the rest factor, that there's too much rest for the teams who have the best records, the teams that have the buys, so to speak. They're not playing in the wild card round, right? Braves obviously being one of those, the Orioles being the other, obviously in the American League. But here's the problem. Now, while I don't disagree with the format being a little wonky, okay, that it's the most random format that there is in the playoff baseball, despite the fact that they're down 0-2 right now to the Texas Rangers, the Houston Astros do not seem to have this problem every single year, right?
Well, that's because they cheat a lot.
Well, I had a feeling
they got a horrible home record. They can't win at home,
which I find fascinating considering how good they are.
With that big ass hill they got in center field.
I know. That thing just makes no sense whatsoever. But you have some teams that it doesn't bother, but you have more teams that it does. So what's the difference? Like what, and so specifically, what needs to change? Like how does this format need to change?
It's
let's throw an extra team in there and not have a first round bye.
Or go back to the 1-game wild card playoff. If you lose, then you're out, and you win, you move on, and we get a full 7-game series.
All right.
Here's the thing: baseball players play every
That's-
single day.
162 games, right?
You take how many days did we have off? 10 days.
Most
it was ridiculous.
Close to it, yeah. They're not used to that because they don't. That never happens.
And you
during the
ran
regular
away
season.
with the division. When you run away with the division at 100+ games, we didn't run away last year, but we had 101. When we got into that wild card somehow because we both were really good last year, it was, hey, we playing a hot team in San Diego, and their bats just took off.
Yep.
Right?
Santiago.
You get bad pitching, right? Or
Wales,
one or two possible guys.
I'm not sure
I'm
that's
gonna
what
read
that
it
means.
all. I'm Ron Burgundy.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
I know what you're doing.
I totally derailed you.
No, you win so much. You play constantly. You play 150 if you're a star player, right? You may get some rest.
You do. Yep.
But then you're constantly playing day in, day out, every other day, possibly every 5 days a week that you're playing.
There's quite a few double headers.
You go sit for 5 days or a week before you play, you're not going to be on. And no matter how much batting practice you can do.
Right. And they tried to simulate that. We heard coming out of the Braves, they tried to simulate and play games, and there was, they put noise in the stadium.
What
and
does that do?
It doesn't do anything, right?
Not a damn thing.
And it's not. So it was a twofer for the Braves because, again, the starting pitching. Look, you've got to have good starting pitching if you're going to win a World Series. Period. End of story. Like, I don't care how good your bats are if you don't have good starting pitching, because at this level you are playing the best, right? You don't get
everybody ones and twos.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not going to get a 4 off a back end rotation guy or somebody doing a spot start.
Right.
You see how smart I am about baseball? I love baseball.
Baseball seriously has to consider changing this. It's not good. I know you want parity, you want others winning and things like that. But when you have big market teams like the Dodgers not able to get past the first round, that's a problem. The Mets from last year, I guess that's what you're right.
Yeah, we won 101 last year and bumped in the wild card round. Like, that's terrible.
I mean, I guess you play who's in front of you, you play when you're scheduled, things like that. But no other league does this, right? NBA, they got the play-in game, but no one else is playing, right? Those two are playing, or 4, whatever it is, they play to get into the playoffs, and then we start the playoffs. Everyone starts.
Yeah. And the most
NFL,
they have is a couple of days.
They're used to playing only once a week.
Right.
So first round bye, that ain't going to kill them, kind of thing. They just go the following week, get in there, and let's roll kind of thing. So I think baseball seriously needs to consider looking at this. I love that call, the one where you used to have that one and in kind of thing.
I loved it.
That game, always
made
watched.
sense.
Yep.
Right?
It
So
made
let's go back to that play-in game and let's roll.
Listen, I remember 2000 when we played the Yankees, 2001, that Subway Series year.
Subway Series.
It was the game Al Leiter pinched against the Reds. And he went out there, lit it up. That was our ace that time, and we got into the playoffs. Yep. And then you just start to get on a roll.
Hot,
it's just one game. You got to get in there. And
Yeah.
it's 7-7-7. Now we're cool.
Yeah, and from so a couple of different perspectives, and we'll move on. I will say this: so the Braves were in an unenviable position of having less than stellar starting pitching. The bats got cold, and they ran into, and the same thing's happened to the Diamondbacks right now. They've run into a buzzsaw right now, and Philly has everything working 100%. Their starting pitching is phenomenal. Their bats are phenomenal.
Bryce Harper just went deep again.
I mean, it's absurd, man. I mean, the guy is going to be the MVP of the postseason.
No, Castellano.
Well, I mean,
Castellanos.
flip a coin. One of the two.
How do you say his name?
Castellano.
He is. I didn't think he was that good.
I mean, look at Turner.
But he's hitting a home run every single at bat.
Turner wasn't even really doing that much during the regular season. Now he's gotten hot.
Wait, he got hot in the World Baseball Classic.
Right, fair enough.
That was
that nobody was watching. But
exactly.
that being said, though, you've got the other situation that you have right now too, and it's a great call out from Crispy, is the fact that we love this parody thing. We love the Cinderella story until they get to the finals, and nobody cares, man.
It's World Series, not the finals. That's basketball.
Whatever.
Who wants to see Texas versus Arizona?
Nobody.
Possibly.
No, I won't watch.
Who's going to watch it?
I don't care.
Not me.
No. Because at the end of the day, despite what everybody, because you're going to have these people that come out here. Oh, I love the parody. I love the fact that everybody's on an equal playing field and everything else. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Not at all.
You pretend like you do until you see the ratings after it's all said and done. And then you look at that person who said that and you'll be like, okay, so maybe you're the exception to the rule. Why is it that the ratings are down 2.5 million people over the World Series from last year or whatever the case may be?
Yep.
You need the Dodgers in. And quite honestly, for baseball's sake, moving forward in the next couple of years, you need the Yankees back in.
Yep.
You
need Boston.
No, you
need the Boston. You need Boston to be relevant. You don't. You need. That's what baseball needs because of the history behind it. There's big market teams. There's a lot of animosity between those squads. You don't need. I'm sorry if you're a Diamondbacks fan. I'm sorry if you're a Padres fan. But nobody gives a shit. Like that's at the end of the day, unless you're a fan specifically of those teams, nobody really cares. I watch baseball when those other teams are playing.
That's shady.
Right?
I was a little shady.
It's real
to the Diamondbacks, at least.
I mean, look, it's a great story. But when the Diamondbacks won the World Series, they had two of the most notorious pitchers on that squad. That's why you watch.
They had a thug at pitcher, Randy Johnson.
They had a couple of them, right?
Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Schilling was also a thug.
Randy the real thug.
Randy the real thug.
You see what he's doing now? He's a photographer.
Oh, he's a photographer.
You see his logo? Remember when he threw the pitch and he hit the bird?
Oh no,
that's his logo.
No, he did not.
It's the bird upside down. Like,
oh my god,
you got to Google it. You got to
destroy that bird.
That's amazing.
Hey, King Griffey Jr. is doing it as well.
Yeah. Also a great photographer.
Yeah.
Yep.
The GOAT.
I will just say this baseball. It's great, but you can't. If we have this, if this is the way the playoffs are going to go over the next 2, 3, 4 years, you're going to see the numbers start to go down.
What's
That's
his
just
name?
reality.
What's the commissioner's name? Manfred,
yeah.
He's out there saying, "Oh, it's not the format. The format is fine. We're good." Nobody wants to see this. I don't want to see it.
No,
wrong.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I'm not a Braves fan, but I'm mad that I'm happy they got bumped, obviously. But I'm mad that they got bumped so early. I would have loved to see you guys beat Philly, probably pin it.
Yeah. Yep.
See who goes.
Yep.
That'd have been better, at least.
For sure. Yeah, I would have
early.
I would have enjoyed that.
Or they need to split us up. Let us play them in the NLDS.
Yeah.
Or Acuna Matata just needs to hit in more than one game.
Yeah, he needs to get better, no question.
That's probably true, too.
The rest factor could still be an issue. I think we've kind of covered that. I would have loved to have seen Braves and Houston go at it again.
He went 0 for in like 3 games?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What happened? Right now.
How many homers Olsen had?
In the playoffs?
Yeah, no, overall. Olsen, he went for how many homers this year?
54.
How many he hit in the postseason?
None.
Ooh, Jesus.
That I know of.
What about Michael? What about Michael Harris? What he did?
Why are we still on this?
Because I gotta get it out.
Okay, we're moving on.
No. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
What about old porn stash over? What was it, Spencer Strider?
Well, I mean, he was basically on an island just doing it himself.
I kind of like him. I just don't like the stash though.
Kid's nice though.
I like his attitude.
Yeah,
he's angry. I like that.
He does not care. He was throwing. He pitched 5 2/3 the other night. Even into the 5th inning, he's still throwing gas. I mean, it was 100 miles an hour. But problem is, you leave it over the plate against Castellano and Harper.
Gotta watch what he's eating.
And my man Schwarber, baby.
Yeah,
I love Kyle Schwarber. Yeah. Why does he lead off though?
I don't know.
He's so big.
Yeah, he doesn't look like there's like
he's not a leadoff
guy.
No, he's not.
No, he's definitely not stealing any bases.
No.
All right, so
he tied the record for most leadoff home runs in history.
That's true.
Really?
Yes.
You know the crazy thing about it is that despite how well Philly played in that NLDS against Atlanta, he was pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah.
Like he struck out so many times.
Yeah, he'll go missing.
Yeah, he goes.
And then he'll come hit 17 home runs straight.
Yeah.
Like
Harper won that series for him.
Harper's like,
attaboy Harper.
He's next level.
And now lose because I hate the Phillies too. So
they're not going to lose. So you might as well just get used to it.
No, I'm sorry.
Nope.
All right. So let's change direction here really quickly. I do want to talk a little, just a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about a little college football.
Oh my God.
Right. College football. So I'll lead off by saying Crispy did this inadvertently, but I thought it was actually a great catch on my part. He texted us like talking about how he
didn't text me.
Wanted
lying.
It was in the group text with the notes. What are you talking about?
Why y'all trying to jam me up, man? What if I'm trying to?
You're trying to
dodge people out here in these
You're trying
streets?
to jam everybody else up.
Oh, you know what time it is?
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's pitch black too, boy. Good Lord.
Oh, it goes
gone.
down over there.
He
Look, the
nasty.
lights off. In the Pedialyte.
Lights are back on already, man. That was quick.
Hey, we probably need to see how my times are. You know
just
how
ignored that.
Eisen has his 40-yard dash? Maybe we could have the crispy light switch challenge or something.
You got back pretty quickly. I'll give you credit.
What's up?
He hits us up in the notes, and he's like it's supposed to say Notre Dame over USC, but it said Notre Dame, and I was like, well, that's actually perfect. Notre Dame in all caps after they absolutely blast the real USC, by the way. Southern Cal.
I thought you called it a molly whopping.
That was a molly whopping.
Okay.
That was embarrassing if you're a Southern Cal fan. I don't know if this is the case yet. Maybe it is, considering the competition. Is Caleb Williams out of the running now for Heisman because of that game?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Nah.
I don't know.
Like, if he lights it up the rest of the season, do we kind of...
Who else is playing that good?
Well,
what's that quarterback
Phoenix?
at
Phoenix?
Florida State?
That's his name, Phoenix?
yeah, for Washington.
Yeah,
He's nice.
I mean, but
that Florida State quarterback's pretty
lose?
good.
He's not winning a Heisman.
We're just gonna keep glossing over that.
He's in the running.
They're playing very well too. Listen, you guys are playing well, but we don't care,
man.
I tell you what,
I'm liking the way this is looking, though.
I know that
might have a family rivalry game.
I know that he wouldn't have won. I know that already because of the position that he plays. But leading up to last week's game, Brock Bowers was a guy who they were throwing his name out. And I know I'm saying this because it's a Georgia guy, but it was everywhere, is that they're like, okay, he probably won't win, but he might get invited.
It's a Georgia Dogs.
If he continues to play at the pace
Go
that he's
Dogs.
been playing.
It's the Georgia Dogs.
He's definitely the best tight end in the country. That's not even close.
That's true.
He is arguably one of the best college football players in the entire country.
That's true.
So he would potentially, if he had kept up this pace, been in the conversation. I'm already telling you, he wouldn't
That's
won. Wouldn't have
crazy
won.
to think, though, because
That he could have won that he could be in the running for a Heisman at that position.
at tight end, that's
Yep.
crazy. If you think about it, who was the last actual tight end
In college.
Jason Witten? Maybe.
I don't even know if he was even that well at Tennessee.
No, Jason Witten was the man at Tennessee. He had number 1. That's what I'll remember.
I just don't remember. I mean, you always see the tight ends come out of college and go into the NFL and then light it up, but they don't really.
Kellen Winslow had a really good year.
he
The
had
kid from Notre Dame, that's with the Raiders now.
That Kyle Pitts guy.
Kyle Pitts at Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think he lit it up like Bowers is.
No.
Well, I don't know of any tight end that's lighting it up like him.
His name Meyer? He went
the
to
kid out of
Raiders.
Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Is he still there?
he's with the
He's
Raiders,
with the Raiders.
right now.
Yeah. He was nice. What about the kid out of Iowa who's in Detroit?
Oh, Hawkinson. No,
not Hawkinson.
No, Laporta.
Laporta. He actually had a very good career at Iowa. That was something that people actually
That's
recognized while he was there. But the Bowers, the numbers that he's been putting up, and he's been getting progressively better every single season as well. This is his 3rd year. Unfortunately, Bowers is out. High ankle sprain.
Like Zach.
And
bruised his butt cheek too?
He just had surgery for it. That's how bad it was. They say he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Sheesh.
Ooh.
So that's going to be problematic for Georgia, no question, moving forward. If they can get through, there's a chance he may be back for the end of the season game against Georgia Tech. And if they manage to win the East still, despite the loss of Bowers not being on the team, which I don't know because their next few games are going to be tough, they'll probably have him back for the SEC championship game, assuming they
Just know we're all pulling against you. I mean, for you.
Yeah.
We're pulling for you this week.
I'm aware.
He's a huge. I know we got to move forward, but he is a huge piece of your offense.
Oh, massive. Yeah.
It's like the
Gone.
only piece of
I
the
know you
offense.
guys recruited well. You probably got some other cats. You might start, hitting the corners, going deep a little bit more. But that security blanket right there, man.
Yeah.
That last game where I forget who it was, where he caught that one and took it to the house to win the game for y'all.
Yep.
Plus, you've been in some tight games that you probably necessarily wouldn't want to be in.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting. Let me see. I think that defense, maybe they're going to take a little onus on it. It's like, hey, the offense has been carrying us for quite some time. we need to help them out a little bit more.
They're not undefeated, are they?
Do they part? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're still undefeated?
Yeah, they're like 3 years undefeated almost.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game in a while.
Oh, they'll send another 7 players to the league and then play for the Eagles again.
Probably play for the Eagles again.
7 players first round.
Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous.
Just lose, goddamn it.
Hey, just enjoy the time. Enjoy the time.
Hey, I've been
coming
enjoying
back around.
It,
it's coming back around.
I've been enjoying it. They continue to recruit well. We'll see. This is definitely not as good a year as we've seen the last couple, but
because you ain't got Stetson Bennett at quarterback for he's 37.
It's only week 6.
He's 37.
Don't get him started.
How is it that Notre Dame managed to blast USC this badly? Like, I mean, it's one thing to lose, right? Okay, Notre Dame managed to beat us in the last possession, whatever. But you took 48-20.
Well, he threw. Colorado just got beat by like 70 the other day too.
To Oregon.
Oh, that was a few weeks ago. It was like the other day.
Listen, I don't remember stuff.
Caleb Williams, he threw 5 picks.
He threw 5? I thought he threw 3. Damn. I thought he only threw 3.
I thought it was 3 in the first half.
Probably. That's why they lost so bad.
Yeah. Where is our stat guy?
He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a bruised ass cheek. Hey, play the drop.
Yeah. Hey, this is my 2 cents on the Notre Dame game. Yeah. One huge rivalry, right? Notre Dame USC as far back as we can. It's probably in the top 3 or 4 of rivalries of all time.
In college football, for sure.
This is kind of to the point that we brought up. I brought up when they had lost to Louisville, or Ohio State. These are the games where you're surprised that they do what they did, because we've had those surprise losses that they've had. That big one against Ohio State, and then they get waxed by Louisville. Maybe thinking ahead, looking at USC. Not to take anything from Louisville. Louisville's a really good team, but to do what they did to USC, it's just like, who are you guys? Kind of thing. Can we get any consistency here? Can you really make it worth our time to always put you in the top 5 and 10 and hope that you're going to put a full season together?
It's because the Pac-17 is trash. I try to say that every week now.
The Pac-18?
The Pac-32. Yeah. They need to go back to the Pac-10. They don't play anybody. That's why I'm not into college. It's not the fact of the politics anymore. Because now that they're paying the players with the NIL money, I appreciate that, right?
Yep.
They're trying to hold on too much to the past. They need to just let's take.
What teams are there? Like, who plays who? Like, we're getting a good matchup this week of Penn State Notre Dame. Not Penn State Notre Dame. Penn State Ohio State. Right? They're both undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yep.
It's a good. But we're getting it so early. That's all we get in the big. What are they? The Big Ten now? I don't know. They're like 17 teams too. We get that, right? That's the annoying part.
You sound like you're losing your breath
because it's so frustrating that we only get Ohio State, Penn State if they're good, Ohio State, Michigan, and then there's nothing else over there in the Big Ten. In the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-16, we get USC and possibly Oregon if they're good, right? Oregon hasn't been really, really good in a while.
Right.
What else do we get? Maybe a Washington.
I got the schedule.
Maybe a Utah, right? Sometimes now that they're over there too, we don't get like the SEC. And that's why the SEC is king still. Because we get all the good teams out there.
But they're not the SEC that they were.
Not at all. But
the SEC they were.
I would take top SEC teams against top Pac-12 teams.
Well, I mean that showcases itself typically every year whenever the playoffs come around.
But whether it be
bowl games or playoffs or anything else, it's typically you're going to see the majority of like either SEC or ACC teams winning the majority of those battles. Of course, going into bowl games if they really care.
ACC teams besides Clemson, give me another one.
Florida State, put some respect on my team.
When was the last time they won?
We done beat them. We already beat Clemson this year.
No. When was the last time they won?
National title 2013.
Jameis, right? Kelvin Benjamin's good catch. Trust me, I know all of it. Like, but that was it.
When was the last time Syracuse won one?
Let me see. Before McNabb. Was that Jim Brown era?
Not even.
Ernie Davis, probably. I keep going back. How much?
Just keep going.
Hey, we got Tennessee, Alabama this week. We got Oregon, Washington State. You got Duke, Florida State.
Oh my gosh, boring.
There's some games out there. Oh, here's an interesting one. LSU Army.
Boring and boringer.
Air Force and Navy.
Let's go back to Caleb Williams still probably being a top 5 pick.
Yeah. Penn State, Ohio State is, I think, something people.
It's for sure the game of the week.
No doubt about it. I think, and I think Penn State's in a position that they can win this game, and they better. I think they're a better football team than Ohio State is right now. I think they need to win this game.
Penn State.
Yeah.
And they're at the horseshoe, though. They are at the horseshoe.
Game day will be there.
Oh, full show. I was talking with a big Penn State fan today.
Who's that?
And
because he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
No, this is the other one. Big Penn State fan, and I was just chatting with him. I was like, man, how awesome would it have been to have the game in Penn State and do a whiteout game, Ohio State versus Penn State whiteout. Oh,
yeah.
That's one of the best atmospheres. I have had to put that on my bucket list, and it's moving up there pretty high on that list. I really want to go see a Penn State game, the whiteout, nighttime, and just be part of that crowd. I think it would be phenomenal.
Yeah, there's quite a few bucket list spots I want to go to. I just want to go to Virginia Tech just for the opening game.
There it is.
I just want to go there.
There you go.
Got to go to Michigan.
Top 5 next week.
You know where I want to go? Syracuse to the Carrier Dome, baby.
Where the AC doesn't work. Let's go with
played there. I know I died. I was laid out in the at halftime. Like this
bucket list.
You thought
What's
I was
your top 5 bucket list?
Yeah. What's that?
We got our top 5 for next week. Top 5 bucket list. What's the top 5 of your bucket list?
We're not just going college, right? We could just
stadium,
any kind of sports.
Yep.
No, we just said bucket list. That's not specific to any sport. Your sport. Bucket list.
Any sport. I got
yours is like wrestling against.
Oh, see.
IWC.
Well, don't we need to like make it? Should we just make it like stadiums? Should we just do stadiums, but not to any one particular sport?
No, because I mean, okay.
Wrestling
I'm just top 5 bucket list. Like
wrestling is a sport.
You want to go to a specific football game? Do you want to go to a specific wrestling game? Do you want to go see a specific
wrestling
stadium in this case?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out.
I'm going
Okay.
I'm gonna be out.
They got to know what we're going to do, though.
You say wrestling game one more time. I'm out 4 to 6 weeks.
Wrestling game.
Yeah,
Which wrestling
bruised
game
ego.
Speaking of top 5, I'm itching for this one.
All right, a couple more things we're going to get through really quickly before we get to this list. Colorado up 29-0 on Stanford, and then
I fell asleep at halftime and then woke up and heard they lost.
Yeah, that was nuts. If you believe in karma,
got to be better.
Maybe you need to not be doing the Rolex Selly to the student section at ASU. Maybe not do that if you're a believer in karma. You're up 29-0. You should not lose that game. That was rough. I'm going to be interested to see how they bounce back from that.
They probably don't.
I don't know. That's a
hey,
rough
they're
one.
already 4 games or 3 games better than they were supposed to have been. So It's all they're playing with house money.
Yeah, their schedule is rough coming up, and we already said that a couple weeks ago anyway. But their schedule's tough. I still think it may be. They may be on the outside looking in right now, especially after that loss of making it to a bowl game. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, when we looked at that schedule, it was going to be tight.
Travis Hunt is really good. I don't care what nobody says.
He's phenomenal. Yeah, he is.
That kid is amazing.
He is nasty, dude. Yeah, he is amazing. Also want to talk about the other undefeated team that went down.
I don't know who that is.
San Francisco 49ers.
Because Brock Purdy is trash. I told you.
Lose to the Cleveland Browns.
I don't think that was it.
Here's an interesting stat for me, right? I saw this a couple of days later, and I think we posted this on the BallzOutsports page.
Balls out.
The Browns have only given up
top defense in the league.
1,000 yards total.
Top defense in the league.
Now, when somebody says the word 1,000 or says that number out loud, it seems like, wow, that's a big number. You realize how few yards that is per game that you've given up?
You know, Tyreek Hill almost has 1,000 yards already, right?
Right.
Oh, he does have 1,000 yards.
He's got like 4 games of 150.
The Browns have only given up, and the exact number is 1,006 yards. That is
top defense in the league.
Phenomenal
Top
stat.
defense in the league.
They did an excellent job. Now, it didn't help San Francisco that they lost a couple of their key players, right? No doubt about that.
That's what happens when you chirp before the game.
Ew, let me tell you.
All that pre-game Debo. Listen, I love Debo.
Yeah.
All that pre-game chirping, you start getting them amped up.
Yeah, don't do that in the doghouse.
And they had the ugly, dirty white jerseys. I hate that all white.
Wait a minute,
Browns.
where were they in that? Where were they?
They were at Cleveland.
They were at Cleveland. Yeah, I thought so.
They had how you have all white on? That white helmet is disgusting for the Browns. They got to get back the orange helmet.
Yeah,
I don't know. I really like those all white uni. I liked them. I thought they were clean. They weren't clean because they had grass stains.
It was very dirty. And it rained too. It was very dirty out there. Look, Brown, just put the orange helmets back on. If you're gonna go white on white, put the orange helmet back on.
That would look kind of cool. I would like that.
Because the Falcons look good with that red helmet. I love that old school Falcons
the old
jersey.
school logo. God, it's so nice.
I stand corrected. He's got 814.
Oh,
sorry.
I saw the stat. Don't worry about him.
Almost 1,000.
He'll have 1,000 at the end
probably
week.
end of next week.
He's on pace for like 2,300.
Oh my God!
And the Browns have given up just barely more than that.
Hey, does Miami play Cleveland this year?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think we play Cleveland.
I would love to see that matchup. Top offense against the top defense.
And you might want to see him against.
Well, at the time of the game that was played, it was the Bills was the number one defense versus our number one offense. But I guess in the 2 weeks or 3 weeks exchange,
that Cleveland defense is nice. It really is nice.
Hey, so the San Francisco 49ers piece to this, I think I'm not going to completely agree with you on the Purdy piece. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. He's doing what they're expecting of him.
Serviceable, not elite, like some analysts are saying out there.
Oh my gosh, whoever they were that said that they need to have a talking to.
Yeah.
But I think we're really going to find out how good this team actually is because their two top guys they're going to probably be out for a little bit, and CMC and Devo. So two best players on their team. We saw it kind of that offense really stalled out a lot once those two guys were out. It's going to be curious to see what this does. And this is what happens to CMC, right? He's a hard runner. He's injury prone. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. They do have, Ayuk? Brandon Ayuk?
I do like
he's having a good year too.
That kid's nice. Yeah. He's nice. So he still has that weapon. I think we're probably going to have to see a little bit more Kittle, which he's had a game or two here or there. So I think Purdy's going to have to find him. And, it's Shanahan. They'll find a running back, and he'll probably do enough for him until CMC gets back.
I think I seen a stat where it said, was it Jim Schwartz is the Cleveland coach, right?
Yeah, defensive coordinator. Yeah,
Jim Schwartz has beat Shanahan like 9-1. He's a 9-1 record against Shanahan.
Oh,
so they said that played a factor into the game. Also, the chirping. Debo misses games. Yeah. He's electric, but he misses games because he plays so physical.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey misses games because he pounds the rock a lot. He's not even on the outside most of the time. Trent Williams missed a couple plays with an ankle. He came back. I think what really did them in, not even the kicker, because he clearly missed a chip shot for the game winner. It was that penalty. Because, again, the refs ain't shit. Just try to tell y'all that. Other than Brock Purdy not being what they think he is.
Yeah.
That penalty was really bad.
Speaking of bad penalties. Or lack thereof.
Sorry, Zach.
End of Giants-Bills. Now, I want to start by saying, when I look at the NFL, again, this is a prime example of the insanity of this league right now and how I don't know from week to week what to expect. I don't know from week to week what to think about a team going into a game that they should have won clearly, by a ton. They were favored by a ton. If you're just, again, it just depends on how you look at it, right? If you're a guy that looks at, Vegas numbers, the Bills should have mollywopped the Giants, right? This should have been a clear-cut victory, and this was a close game. How is it that the Giants, by the way, with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback,
with a really bad End of half.
Yes. Now, really bad end of half drive, yes. Saquon does nothing in the first half, lights it up in the second half. Like, it's absolutely ballistic.
They ran him like 7 times straight, and it was like a gaping hole.
15,
gaping hole.
20, 23.
You see Justin Pugh?
Yeah.
Just fresh off the couch.
Yeah.
I just got Saquon in a trade.
That intro was amazing for him.
Yeah.
Is it Justin Pugh? Straight off the couch.
So 2 things to take away from this.
Savage.
Or 3 things to take away from this. First, how this game was this close. Number one, it shouldn't have been.
Because the Bills are overrated.
A bad Giants team comes that close to beating the Bills. 2, clearly holding on the last play. The very last play. There was
2 last plays.
Well, they called the first one.
Which was not as bad as the last one.
As the second one.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't even raise his arm. He was
right.
Like,
and I believe that the penalty was on the same player.
Same guy. Back to back.
And holding on the second one on Waller was so egregious.
He didn't even look for the ball.
And not called. Was facing the other direction.
Had him
pulling on his jersey.
Yeah.
Couldn't lift one of his arms up.
Nope.
And they didn't call it.
No. Back in the end zone.
Yeah. Clear as day.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean the Giants would have turned around if they'd got another opportunity and won the game? Not necessarily, but you got to give them a shot.
Tush push.
You got to do it.
Hey, do you guys think that the travel back from abroad had anything to do with it? Being a little bleh, with the time change and all that stuff, kind of a short week.
No.
I don't know.
It
affected them when they went over there.
The most overrated, underrated quarterback is Josh Allen.
Overrated, underrated?
Yeah. Because he does things that, like that throw, the touchdown. Like, not a lot of people can make that throw on the roll to the right, like put it right in the window between 2 defenders.
Yep.
But then
to a guy that hadn't got a pass all year, by the way.
First pass, touchdown, right? And then he'll make the easy throws look so bad and try to Superman it, like he said.
Or the fumbles. A lot of times, holding on the ball too long.
A lot of fumbles.
Yep.
He should have blew them out by like 50.
Yep.
Giants defense is decent.
Yeah. But not.
He should have put up 50 on
him. Not good enough to have kept that game that close.
I told you he's overrated and underrated. He doesn't play well in big games. Besides Kansas City. And they still lost that one.
Right. Yeah. Besides Kansas City for sure. So it's crazy. I mean, the NFL is just still, and that's what I love about this. I mean, we're back to doing this after years of being away. We're talking about sports. We're having these conversations that we've done before. We've had a long time ago, and I couldn't have thought of a better NFL season to start because it's leaving me so like every week it's just something different, right? Every week it's just like I'm scratching my head here, right? I'm like, why? What's going on? How is it that this happened? How is it the team can be this close? It's amazing to me.
I know the records don't show it, but I think there's a nice bit of parity right now in the NFL. I mean, it's any given Sunday. It's the old, adage that, you go out there, you never know what's going to happen. You all line up, you play and see how it goes. Ooh. So I'm loving this. I love the fact that I get to watch all the games that I want as well. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable.
Pick me. Hands up. Oh. Is that the reason that there's parity though? Think about it.
It's not the refs.
We want record numbers. The refs are bad.
Oh dear.
The refs.
Is that the reason that we get what we get? Because
the
Chiefs should have lost to the Jets. Right or wrong?
Right.
Wrong.
Come on now. See? That's the hate.
Right.
Chiefs should have lost to the Jets. We saw another the Commanders game, the end of that game. Remember that clear pass interference that they didn't call like 2-3 weeks ago? The Giants one from last week. There's always bad calls for certain teams to make them win, to make the numbers look good, to make the records look good, to get the better games in the next week afterwards.
Outside of the refs, and look, I don't disagree with you. There's some bad calls. We get this all the time. We get this every year. But outside of that, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago that both in the NFL and in college football right now, I think it's a case of the teams overall this year are not as good as the teams overall last year. Like, I think that from top to bottom,
the Eagles didn't lose anything, but they somehow are not as good as last year.
You even said yourself they lost some significant pieces on defense. They're very vulnerable in the middle of the field. We see that every week so far.
Just C.J. Gardner left, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And they picked up some great kids out of the draft too.
And they got another 17 Georgia players.
Right.
I mean, what are we saying?
I just don't think that the product, and it again, only week 6. It's only week 7. Sorry. I don't think the product yet is as good from top to bottom of all 32 teams. And even in college football, we said this, I think, even as early as last week, where you don't like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, maybe Michigan is the exception, probably Penn State as well. For the most part, when it comes to the top 10 teams in college football, I don't believe that overall they are as good as they were last year. And I think the same thing speaks for the NFL. If you just take the top 2 teams from last year, Kansas City, not playing that well. Philly, not playing that well. I just don't know that the product is quite as good. And I think that's what's bringing that parity. I think that's what's bringing the parity together. Even your bottom. Look, I mean, again, the Giants-Bills game is a prime example of what I'm talking about. The Giants are horrible. I mean, a lot of people are talking about the fact they need to blow this team up, but yet they still managed to put themselves in a position to potentially win a game against the Bills, that's
because Daniel Jones wasn't quarterbacking.
Well, that's a possibility. But all I'm saying is that you're seeing these types of these types of games more often, and I just think overall, I just don't think it's as good a product. Do I have a problem watching it? No. Is it fun? Is it exciting? Is it like, holy hell, what the hell's going on here? Like, how did this happen again this week? Yes, that's cool, and it gives us something to talk about. But I just don't think overall the product is as good as it was. I think that's why you're seeing as much parity as you are.
Because the refs ain't shit. Next topic.
The next topic is the final topic of the evening.
Okay.
You guys ready for this one?
What is it?
Crispy, I know you're excited because apparently you have done all the homework in the world. You were ready to go. Oh, now he went to sleep. Oh, wow. That's rough.
Are we ready?
It's okay.
That's rough.
It's okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we said we were going to do this last week. We kind of gave you a little preview of what we were going to do at the beginning of this show, and we are doing each one of us, independently, are going to do our top 5 wrestlers of all time. Now, this time around, each individual is simply going to give you their top 5 before we move on to the next person.
I'm going last.
Why are you going last?
Because it's my specialty.
Oh, let's see.
I'm a part of the IWC.
It's fine.
That's
it's
ridiculous.
fine. It's
all right,
fine.
Crispy, how about you go first?
Yeah, I'd love to go first. Now, can I ask this? Allah,
no.
Please let me get through the list before you.
Oh, I can't promise that one. I'm gonna try.
Please just let me get through the list, and when I'm done, floor is yours.
Don't worry about it. I'll make a lot of faces over here for you.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be a little surprised here, though. Yeah, look, I'm gonna do you proud here. I did not disrespect your wrestling, so I did went and watched some WWF. WrestleMania.
Whoa, you can't say WWF. Can't say that.
Well, that's what it said on TV. It said WWF.
Can't say that because
WrestleMania.
It's the World Wildlife Fund with the panda on it.
It used to be WWF.
Yeah, but that's way back in the day, though.
Time
ago. You got to get the F out. Remember the old promo? You got to get the F out. All right, sorry, I'm back to
WWE. I hadn't even started my list yet.
I was trying to get. We don't want to get flagged, all right? Against
the
World Wildlife
Fund. We're on a time constraint here. Let me get through this.
The lights.
All right, I'm gonna. Well, yeah, my light's gonna go out. All right, so I have my honorable mentions real quick. First one I have on it, Triple H. Dude was sick. Steve Austin, 316. Let's go. The guy was crazy, drinking all the beers and everything. The Rock. I'm a huge Rock fan, so I had to put him on there. Shawn Michaels.
These are honorable mentions, right?
Yeah, these are honorable mentions.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, pretty good wrestler. And then the last one I had was Hitman Hart. So top 5, starting off, number 5, I have The Undertaker. At number 4, I have Andre the Giant. At number 3, I got Jake the Snake Roberts. At number 2, I got Hulk Hogan. And number 1 all-time wrestler for Crispy is Macho Man Randy Savage and that beautiful woman, Miss Elizabeth. That's mine. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Get it over with. Let's just get it done.
Oh, we're on a time constraint. I won't say anything.
Because it's
I'm gonna give him that one.
It's a pretty good list.
Definitely not a good list, but okay. Let's keep going.
All right, so is it my turn?
Your turn. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna listen to yours because yours is gonna be better.
You think so?
Come on, redeem them. Redeem them.
So I'm gonna give you one honorable mention. I'm going to give you The Rock, just on the outside looking.
Dwayne.
In. Yeah, just on the outside looking in. For me, but starting at number, I could give you a bunch of other ones as well, but I won't get into too many of those because there are a lot. I've some personal favorites who definitely wouldn't make the top 5. But let's go into it. Number 5 for me is Shawn Michaels.
Break something in this place.
Number 4, just because it doesn't agree with your list.
No, because he's the GOAT. Keep going. Sorry, keep going.
Number 4 for me is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
Number 3 is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Number 2 is Hulk Hogan. And number 1...
You got to stop putting Terry so high.
Number 1...
The Undertaker.
Ooh. The Undertaker.
I like that. I mean, I knew that was going to be your answer.
Yeah, you knew that was my number 1.
Yeah, I knew that was your answer too. That's why I didn't take number 1 because I like him a lot too. So I
think he's the best. I think he's the best. Look, I did a lot of homework on this as well, and I'll tell you what I did. I literally looked through a lot of this has to do with there's multiple facets to wrestling, right? There is marketability. There is mic. You got to be good on the mic. That's why I almost had The Rock in because of his ability on the mic. Probably one of the best, maybe even the best on the mic. You can argue.
Top 3?
Yeah, I mean, just amazing. And then it's how you perform in the ring, wrestling.
That's why Sean's the GOAT. But keep going.
That's fair, but there's multiple facets.
Ric Flair said that too recently on an interview. By the way, just want to let you guys know that.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels the GOAT.
Thank you. Okay, just because Ric Flair said it doesn't necessarily make it so.
Hey, everybody thinks Ric Flair is the GOAT, right?
I didn't even have him in my top 5. So
I mean, he's not in mine either.
All right then. So what are we talking about here?
I had to. I scratched out Ric Flair and put Undertaker at 5. Yeah. I did have Ric Flair at 5.
There's a lot, and when I think about the guys that I put in there, and I know you've got Shawn Michaels as number 1 because you're telling him the GOAT, so we realize that
all time.
But I've got Shawn Michaels in my top 5 because of all the above, like the wrestling acumen, obviously there. Mike was good, marketability, very good. But I've got Stone Cold. It was hard for me with Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan. You could argue even some people have Stone Cold number 1. Some people do.
I know.
He's really good.
I got like 17 of his shirts. I might wear one next week.
He's definitely got to be in everybody's top 5 in my opinion.
Because he was there at the boom of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, he's
where they crossed over.
Yeah.
Like it was because of him.
Yeah, it was because of him. And I'm a huge fan of his. I'm still a huge fan of his at this point. So that's my top 5. Take it or leave it. Let me just say this really quickly. When it comes to Hulk Hogan's marketability and mic ability, that's why I have him so high. I never really thought of him as a very good wrestler. Like by comparison, but because he's so marketable and good on the mic, that's why I have him in my top 2.
Which is why Andre shouldn't have been in the top 5, but we'll just let that one go.
But he's an anomaly. I think that's probably why a lot of people.
I agree, but so is the Big Show.
Right.
Nobody cares about Paul White.
But people remember. I think people overall remember Andre before they remember the Big Show.
He's from South Carolina, by the way.
He is.
Yeah,
he is. Go ahead. Your top 5.
Nope. Number 1, are we going 5-1?
5-1. Come on now.
5-1. Jesus. I'm gonna go. I'm not doing honorable mentions because I could go down.
We could go forever.
People.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
My number 5 is Randy Orton.
Okay. Fair. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Number 4 is Mark Calloway, The Undertaker.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. I respect the fact you got it in the top 5.
I love Taker.
He's the man.
17 different gimmicks.
I mean, he's amazing.
He came back the other day too.
He did.
Number 3. I'm gonna put Stone Cold.
Oh, we have him in the same spot. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna go 3 because someone has pushed him out of my top 2, and that is the current tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay.
You know why? Because this modern run, It can't be topped with Bruno and Hogan and Bob Backlund and Sam and all of them. 1,143 days as champion. He hasn't lost in over 3+ years.
Yeah. I
know why. Because the refs ain't shit. Because they let him win.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, refs ain't shit.
Vince ain't shit either.
Apparently. Right, yeah, that's true. He's still making a lot of money, though.
And there we go, number one. You already know. I got to say it. His name, Shawn Michael Hickenbottom.
All right, because he's your number one, give me why real quick, though.
The greatest in-ring performer, and everybody says it. Ric Flair said it. Taker said it. Brett said it. The greatest in-ring performer of all time is Shawn Michaels, hands down. Everybody says it.
Okay, all due respect, I just want your opinion. I don't give a shit about everybody else.
I'm just telling you, I've watched it from the boyhood dream to breaking up from the Rockers to the barbershop throwing Marty Jannetty through the glass, from his singing his own theme song to the over the top flamboyance to the glasses to Sherry to becoming Shawn that we know of him today to DX. To then becoming, the best match of all time was with The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
It is.
And then they did it again the next year after that.
It is. Those are two of the best matches you'll ever see. And I watch. I mean, look, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but if I watched WrestleMania because I knew Undertaker was going to be there, and I watched you'd be surprised how many Undertaker matches I've watched. Like I've watched a ton. I just loved it. Paul Bearer was like. That whole thing was just it was so good, man. It was so phenomenal. I loved it.
Don't get me started.
I loved it, man.
I love wrestling.
We know you do. I respect it.
Keeping it kayfabe over here, guys.
That's it. That's what he does.
They know that.
What he does.
For my IWC folk.
All right. Final thoughts.
That my list is the best.
Fair enough. I wasn't necessarily talking about the list.
Oh, sorry.
But just overall, which is fine. That's your final thought. Your list is the best.
Is.
I don't think that it is, but
it is.
I think mine's pretty damn good.
I proved why mine is.
I think
I gave stats on mine. Y'all just gave y'all this. I gave stats.
I could have given you that, but we were on a time constraint, and I let you give the stats because you're the wrestling guy.
The wrestling guy, guys.
Right, fair enough. Crispy, final thoughts on the
DX
night.
T-shirt on.
I was pretty proud of my list. I was able to come up with some actual real wrestlers. I had thought about just making up wrestlers and finding high school wrestlers for y'all. So I think
just making up wrestlers.
Real wrestlers. who like Jim Schmitz.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when he did a drop toe hold back in 1972.
Man, I felt I was respectful to Allah in this activity.
Nope.
And he still beats me up for it. So
he does.
I guess I got to try a little harder for Allah next week.
It's because you're a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's probably all that it is.
I'll always have to try to get Allah's approval.
You do.
Dolphins and Heat.
You do. It's a rough go of it. My final thoughts are this was by far for me the most enjoyable show we've done so far. I had an absolutely phenomenal time tonight.
That's because Zach not here.
It's a possibility. Zach, well, he won't be here for the next 4 to 6, so we'll be all right for a little while. So
hey, real quick, a hockey coach just got a puck off the face, bro. Ooh. They had to rush him off they ran him out.
Listen, man, let me tell you.
He gonna get some stitches tonight.
He's definitely gonna get some stitches.
Hey, he might need some Pedialyte too.
Okay, here we go. All right, so thoroughly enjoyed this evening. It was a lot of fun. Want to thank all of you out there for the support so far. You can catch us on all the audio options, all the podcast streaming I can't even talk. It's late. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Google as well. And, of course, those of you who want to watch what's going on, you can obviously catch us on YouTube. Check us out on all the socials, Instagram, X.
Whoa. 3 people can't make an X.
Why not? It's triple X.
XXX.
That's another show.
Hey, you guys should put the little blurps right above me, and I can point up. Left.
No, they put this. I watched the video from last week. They put the subscribe right on his face.
They did right over your
goddamn production.
You probably do need to cover this up. It's probably a good idea.
I would too.
Okay,
yeah,
it's just rude.
I would too.
It's a great face for radio and podcasts
because of that list.
It's because of the list.
Hey, what about the hat though? Right?
Hat's
Play bad fast.
Yeah, I
right?
like
That's
that one.
tight.
Yep.
I wore that in honor of the Jets.
Play bad fast. All right, so we're gonna get off. We've called it a night. Like, comment, subscribe, obviously on a YouTube channel. Again, we do appreciate you. Check out all the socials. We're posting stuff all the time. You'll see clips. You'll see reels and shorts. We're constantly just trying to remind y'all where we are. We appreciate those of you who have subscribed so far. Those of you who have downloaded the podcast and listened. Quite a few hours of listening time on the podcast. So once again, much appreciated. So we're growing this thing. We're enjoying ourselves. We're getting better. We would appreciate your feedback. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think, and we'll be back at it again next week.
Right, because I need a hair budget, guys. I need a new hairdo. And
I got you. I got the clippers. I got everything. I got a barber seat. Let's go. I got you.
It's definitely time to wrap this up at this point. Yeah.
Bzz, bzz.
Apparently the Pedialyte's going to his head. So we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
so
let's get out of there.
So for a couple of the fellas, of course, we're a little shorthanded this evening, but for
Cal's under a bridge again.
Yeah. And Zach's on the IR for a little while with a broken tailbone. For
Get healthy, Zach. Get
Coco
healthy.
on
I love
the
you.
other side of the camera, for Christian as well, pushing all the buttons, keeping things going here.
Need some chapstick?
Crispy in joining us from Greenville, South Carolina. We appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Allah to my left. I am Jonas Mount. This is the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Catch you next time.
Suck it, jabronis.
Stay hydrated.